Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost, where we get you the top 50 stories from around the world. I'm Alison LaGrange, coming to you live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin. In our top stories, the US reportedly received information about an Iranian plot to assassinate former US President Donald Trump. Washington learned about the plot through a human source. U.S. security officials say they boosted protection for Trump weeks ago in response to the information. But they say the alleged Iranian plot was unrelated to the recent attempt on Trump's life. Meanwhile, Iran has slammed the accusations, addressing them to be unsubstantiated and malicious. Day 2 of the Republican National Convention began in the U.S. state of Wisconsin. Donald Trump's former rivals were seen lauding him at the convention. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis praised Trump and slammed U.S. President Joe Biden. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley, the last challenger to exit the Republican presidential nominee race, also pushed for Trump's re-election bid. Meanwhile, a security threat occurred near the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin. A man was shot dead by police officers. Police officials say that the man was carrying a knife in each hand. He reportedly charged toward an unarmed individual, forcing the police to intervene. Trump has said that Taiwan should pay the U.S. for guaranteeing to defend it against China. This statement sent shockwaves through the island. Trump's comments raised doubts about whether the U.S. would continue to support Taiwan if he becomes president again. After Trump's comments, Taiwan's premier said that Taipei is increasing its self-defense capabilities. Moving to updates in the Israel-Hamas war. Gazan health officials reported at least 60 deaths across the enclave due to Israeli airstrikes. Israel reportedly targeted multiple areas, including a designated humanitarian zone in Al-Mawasi. Reports say a school sheltering displaced civilians in Gaza's Nuseirat area was also hit. The Israeli army said that Hamas terrorists were present at the school. The Yemen-based Houthi group released a video purportedly showing their recent strike in the Red Sea. The footage shows an attack on an oil tanker called the Chios Lion. Now, the Liberia-flagged oil tanker is assessing a possible oil spill. The Houthis claim that they struck the vessel with ballistic missiles and drones. Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla were rushed to safety from an event in the island of Jersey. They were taken away due to a security scare, which was later declared a false alarm. The British royals were in the middle of a conversation with the local business owner when their security team alerted them. The event was resumed after a thorough check. Reports say Russia and Ukraine will trade 90 wartime prisoners today. The prisoner exchange is being facilitated by the UAE. The two sides have occasionally carried out periodic swaps since the war broke out in 2022. The last swap took place in June, where both Russia and Ukraine returned each other 90 prisoners. Now, the ongoing government job reservation protests in Bangladesh have resulted in 6 deaths. Schools and universities have been shut indefinitely across the nation. Students have been rallying against the quotas in the public sector for months. The situation escalated yesterday after clashes erupted between the demonstrators and supporters of the Bangladesh ruling party. Anti-government protests in Kenya have reportedly left at least one person dead. Police fired tear gas and water cannons to disperse the protesters in Nairobi. One protester reportedly died in Kitengela County during the demonstrations. Protests against President William Ruto's government have been ongoing for a month. They began in response to the government's plan to hike taxes. However, they have continued even after the plan was rolled back. A bus crash in Peru's Andes Mountains has killed at least 23 people and injured more than a dozen others. The bus was headed to Ayacucho when it veered off a cliff. Peru's Interior Ministry says search and rescue operations are ongoing. 13 injured people were evacuated from the crash site. At least 6 people were found dead at a hotel in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. The deceased include 3 men and 3 women who are Vietnamese nationals. Reports say they also hold U.S. citizenship. Police say they were killed by cyanide poisoning. They suspect the deaths might be an act of revenge. On to climate news now. The death toll due to the intense storm in eastern Afghanistan has risen to 47. At least 350 people have sustained injuries. Afghan authorities say that at least 400 houses have been destroyed. Severe downpours caused the Daihu River to overflow in China's Henan province. As a result, over 1,200 people had to be evacuated. A level 4 emergency has been declared for both the Henan and Shandong provinces. Rainfall is expected to continue in China's southern regions for the next 3 days. Torrential rain triggered flash flooding in Canada's financial centre, Toronto. The heavy downpour disrupted traffic and caused waterlogging and forced airlines to curtail services. The Canadian authorities say that the rain and flooding has left over 165,000 people without power. And heavy rains have caused a dam to fail in the U.S. state of Illinois. This led to flash floods in the city of Nashville. Hundreds of people had to be evacuated. And farmers in Russia's Rostov region are struggling to salvage their grain harvest amid extreme heat. Temperatures have soared to as high as 50 degrees Celsius. Rostov officials expect this year's harvest to be 38% lower than last year's. Bucharest, the capital of Romania, has been reeling under extreme heatwave conditions. The temperature there is expected to exceed 42 degrees Celsius. Heatwave warnings have been issued, and Romanian citizens have complained of heat stroke, headaches, and fainting. Greek authorities have also warned of unusually high temperatures. The temperature is expected to exceed the 40 degrees Celsius mark in the coming days. Greece has ordered some businesses to not let their employees perform heavy outdoor duties during the afternoon hours. And wildfires have been raging across Albania for 3 weeks now. 3 new fires sprang up near Albania's capital of Tirana on Monday. Firefighters and military personnel are struggling to bring the flames under control. On to business and tech news. The International Monetary Fund has maintained global economic growth forecasts in its latest outlook. The IMF expects the global economy to grow by 3.2% this year. It said that global economic activity and world trade have become stronger in 2024. However, the IMF lowered its growth forecast for the United States. It noted that the U.S. economy saw a slower than expected start to the year. Meanwhile, the IMF upgraded the forecast for India's gross domestic product, or GDP. It expects India's economy to grow by 7% in the financial year 2024 to 25. Now, the IMF says the prospects of improved private consumption are expected to lift India's economy. The IMF's chief economist says India and China are powering nearly half of the world's growth. The Indian government is reportedly planning to fast-track the visa process for Chinese technicians. India plans to cut their visa processing time from the current 4 to 5 months to just 30 days. This comes after complaints from Indian businesses. Indian factories have been facing a shortage of Chinese workers. These workers help operate machines imported from China. New Delhi reportedly slowed the visa process for Chinese citizens after the India-China border clashes in 2020. And the US is reportedly planning to impose more trade restrictions on China. The Biden administration wants to restrict Beijing's ability to procure advanced chip technology. In the last few years, the U.S. has placed several restrictions on its own chip companies that sell products in China. However, Washington is still concerned about European and Japanese firms providing advanced chip technology to Beijing. And gold prices have touched a record high. Spot gold, the benchmark price for the yellow metal, rose by 0.2%. It reached nearly $2,473 per ounce today, and this surge was fueled by growing hope for interest rate cuts in the U.S. Investors expect that the U.S. Federal Reserve will lower interest rates in their September meeting. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has voiced his support for the Chinese social media platform TikTok. In an interview, Trump said that the U.S. needs TikTok to ensure competition in the market. The Biden administration has notified a law against the platform. The law forces TikTok's parent firm ByteDance to sell the app by next year or face a ban. And Elon Musk says he wants to relocate the headquarters of his companies SpaceX and X. The American billionaire wants to move his firms from California to Texas. This comes after California enacted a law that could benefit LGBTQ+ students. The law bans schools from notifying parents about their children's LGBTQ+ identities. Musk claims the law attacks families and it was the last straw. And British banking giant HSBC is set to appoint Georges Elidre as its new CEO. Elidre currently serves as the chief financial officer of the bank, and he will replace the outgoing HSBC chief, Noel Quinn, on the 2nd of September. Quinn has led the British bank for the last 5 years. An American investment bank, Morgan Stanley, has reported a 41% jump in its second quarter profits. The bank earned over $3 billion between April and June of this year. Morgan Stanley saw strong growth in its investment banking business during the quarter. However, its wealth management business faced a slowdown. Meanwhile, German sportswear firm Adidas has also reported its second quarter earnings. The firm's revenue rose by 11% between April and June compared to the same period last year. Adidas also saw a 9% jump in sales during the quarter. Analysts say that sportswear brands are seeing a boost in demand ahead of the Paris Olympic Games. And on that note, moving to sports, we start with cricket. Surya Kumar Yadav is set to be appointed as India's captain for the T20 international leg of the Sri Lanka series. Reports say he is also being considered as the T20I skipper of Team India in the long run. The T20I series between India and Sri Lanka will commence on the 27th of July. The two sides also play a one-day international series after that, which will begin from the 2nd of August. Newly elected head coach of the Indian cricket team, Gautam Gambhir, has bid farewell to the Kolkata Knight Riders. He posted an emotional video tributing the fans and the Indian Premier League franchise. Gambhir has previously captained the KKR towards IPL victories in 2012 and 2014. He also mentored the IPL team toward their third title this year. In football, Lionel Messi will skip the next two Major League Soccer matches. Messi, who plays for Inter Miami, has been sidelined due to injury. He hurt his right ankle while playing for Argentina in the 2024 Copa America final. Inter Miami are set to play two home matches against Toronto FC and the Chicago Fire. The UEFA Euro 2024 team of the tournament has been announced. The squad features 6 players from Spain, 2 footballers are from France, and 1 each from England, Germany, and Switzerland. Spain's player of the tournament, Rodri, was also in the 11-member team. The UEFA Euro 2024 team of the tournament includes standout players recognized for their contribution throughout the event. In tennis, Spain's Rafael Nadal has been named in the entry list for the US Open. The 38-year-old has a protected ranking of 9th. Protected ranking in tennis allows injured players to retain their ranking status when they return to play. However, this doesn't necessarily mean Nadal will feature in the Grand Slam. Nadal is expected to compete at the Paris Olympics, and it's unsure if he would continue to play after that. Now, the US Open begins on the 26th of August. India's Sumit Nagal has achieved a career-high ranking of world number 68. He climbed 5 spots in the latest rankings released by the ATP yesterday. With this new record, Nagal is the 4th highest-ranked Indian male tennis player since 1973. And Danish tennis player Holger Rune is through to the second round of the Berlin Open. He defeated Fabian Marozsan of Hungary 6-4, 6-4 in straight sets. Rune ranked number 17 and will play Argentine qualifier Marco Trungelliti next. And Joe Bryant, the father of the NBA legend Kobe Bryant, has passed away at the age of 69. Joe has featured in the National Basketball Association for 8 seasons. He has played for teams like San Diego Clippers and the Houston Rockets during his career. The mayor of the Paris Olympics, Anne Hidalgo, swam in the River Seine to demonstrate improved cleanliness for the Olympic events. She covered about 100 meters to test the river's suitability firsthand. Her act aimed to showcase Paris's readiness for outdoor swimming activities in cleaner waters. The Seine will host the Olympics triathlon and even the open water swimming event. Paris organizers unveiled the official village for the participating athletes. The site will host more than 20,000 athletes through the Olympics and Paralympics. The village is equipped with a fitness center, a doping control center, and even a club where athletes can engage with each other. Players from all around the world will start coming to the village tomorrow. In entertainment news, the rapper Drake's house in Toronto was flooded after torrential rain hit the city. He posted a video on Instagram showing his flooded house. A man was seen struggling to keep muddy water out of Drake's wardrobe. The singer Madonna's biopic is back in the works. She took to Instagram to share glimpses of her working on it. One of the pictures showed that the title of the biopic is Who's That Girl? Julia Garner will reportedly lead the film. An American country music star, Ingrid Andress, has issued an apology for her out-of-tune performing of the U.S. national anthem on Monday. Videos of her performance went viral and showed the singer off-key and struggling with high notes. Andress admitted that she was drunk during the performance at a Major League Baseball game in Texas. Andress says that she will check herself into a rehabilitation center. In a newly released teaser of Deadpool and Wolverine, people got a glimpse of the character Lady Deadpool. Some fans believe that the actor behind the mask could be Ryan Reynolds' real-life wife, Blake Lively. Deadpool and Wolverine will release on the 26th of July. And in a recent interview, Ryan Reynolds revealed that he let go of his Deadpool fees. This was to pay for the film's screenwriters to be on set. The actor did this to form a writer's room, as he didn't want even a micro detail to be missed when they were shooting. House of Dragons star Tom Glynn revealed that it took him nearly 6 hours to get into Aegon II's look. The makers of the series wanted to get the aesthetics correct. Glynn said that the testing stage for Aegon's look lasted a long time because they tried different variations. And the Duffer Brothers, who are the creators of the show Stranger Things, are working on a new horror series. It is titled Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. The series is set at a wedding which ends with an ill-fated ceremony. And Netflix has released the trailer of Terminator Zero. The 8-episode series is a part of the Terminator universe. Terminator Zero is the first iteration of the franchise to be animated. It focuses on the war between technology and humanity. Actor Emma Roberts is now engaged to her boyfriend Cody John. She took to social media to flash her engagement ring. The newly engaged couple had made their relationship official in 2022. And the Kardashian sisters, Kim and Khloe, are making the most of their time in India. They paid a visit to a temple in Mumbai. The duo also served food to children inside the temple premises. They came to India to attend the wedding of Anant Ambani, the son of billionaire Mukesh Ambani. And that's all on this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.